Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Imroatul Majidah. I'm from Universitas Qomaruddin, and in today's debate, I'm as the opening government under the motion, this house as a first-generation immigrant parent of color in a predominantly white country would choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave. In this motion, I totally agree with this motion, but before I'm going to tell you the reason why I agree with this motion, I want to give you some explanation of this motion first. In this motion, as first-generation immigrant parents mean a parent from different culture or different country move to the new country as a resident. And the meaning of color here, it means that the parent and then their children don't have the same color with their new country that have been lived now. And then the meaning of who choose to live and raise children here means that we as a parent want our children to live and raise in an ethnic enclave. And the ethnic enclave here means that it is a geographic area with high ethnic concentration, characteristic, cultural identity, and economic activity. So, the issue of this motion is about different ethnic, different culture, and different country from immigrant to become a resident become a big problem in the particular country. So, for example, in America, the statistic of the discrimination is very high. Therefore, this motion should come up and we should discuss in today's debate. So, under this motion, we as a opening government want to show you the positive impact of the immigrant parent that live in ethnic enclave. Me as a first speaker want to tell you from the social aspect, and my partner will tell you in economical aspect. Okay, first, from social aspect, what is the positive impact from living in ethnic enclave by immigrant in their new country? First of all, the positive impact is to facilitate the children in order to keep remember on their homeland. Because the children of first-generation immigrant must have the role core of their homeland, no matter where they live in their new country, no matter they live in America or they live in England or and so on and so forth. If they are from, so for example, Korea or India, they still have to love their homeland. They still have to have a role they still have to have some education and have some behavior like an Korean people or Indian people as their hometown. Because we don't have because even if they live in the new country right now, they still have to always remember their homeland. The reason of that is because maybe in the future they will have to come back in their homeland. They don't have some cultural shock with their own culture. Okay, that's the reason. That's my first reason from facilitate the children in order to keep remember on their homeland. Now let's move to the second reason. That is provide the immigrant parent and their children can provide shelter from discrimination. Okay, as we know that right now there are still a lot of big number of discrimination of the immigrant in their new country. So, for example, recently there is such case that very booming in around the world. This case comes from America. That is case from George Floyd that have discriminated by the police of American or the police that have a white color. Why George Floyd discriminate here? It's because George Floyd don't have the same color, don't have the same ethnic with the police that have a white color. What does it mean? It indicates that discrimination still have a lot of number, still have a lot of case in the United States or in the new country that have some immigrants or have some people that or community that have a different color, different ethnic and different culture with them. And here, in my reason, by living in ethnic enclaves, the immigrant and their children will provide shelter from discrimination, because the immigrant will live with their same culture, same ethnic with them. Therefore, they will push, they will make the number of the case of discrimination low by living in ethnic enclaves. So that's why, from the reason that I give to you, it indicates that immigrants that live in ethnic enclaves will produce a lot of positive impact than they live in the then they live in original place, like they live in America, they live in they live in like people of America. So for example, we are from India. So we are from India and we can immigrate to America. In America, we live in ethnic enclave. We live in India. In Little India. That's why I agree with this motion that this house as a first generation immigrant parent of color in predominantly white country who choose to live and raise their children in an ethnic enclave. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Lisma Elizatun Nisa from Qomaruddin University Inggris. I'm as a government side. With this motion, this house as a first generation immigrant parents of color in predominantly white country would choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave. So in this motion, I agree with this motion based on the economic based on economic because people or immigrant while they move from their country to another country, such as the country with dominantly by white people, they have support each other. It means they have bonding and then feeling of the same boldness. So it means even if they, as the opposite of the government said, that black people always do crime and have identity about the crime. It is not. It is not. We disagree because. While they move to the country, I mean that in ethnic enclave, they have available support from the other people from their ethnic. They have opportunity from the other ethnic to support them to look for the job, to get the money, to earn the money from to live their life. And then I want to go to my own case because I agree with this motion the immigrant parent of color in predominantly white country would choose and live and rise. So they, while they move to the white country, the predominant country, they also have housing for they live, the place where they live. So they don't have a difficulty for housing, because if they come and live in an ethnic enclave, they can live in a community safety, because they live side by side with the other people from their same ethnic. And then we don't have to worry about the existence of the ethnic enclave, because they come to the predominantly white country. It's not as like they want, and then they have to doing something like they want. No, because they still have, because they have lived under the control by the government, so that they don't live by their rules, by their own rules, but they also have rules from the government that they also obey the rules. So if they live in an ethnic enclave, it means that they have to doing something that they want, but they also have positive impact from the other in their ethnic enclave, because they live side by side from the people from the same ethnic with them. So from this motion, we totally agree, because ethnic enclave we agree because ethnic enclave don't give a negative impact for the other, but they brings a positive impact to the other and also for their country.
What?
So therefore, we close the opening government, and thank you.